You see me, don't you? You see me. What's going on, PD Peeps? It is your boy bringing so much joy. You know who it is. And damn it, I'm ready to roll. So, welcome to another wonderful Saturday with your boy in the building. I am Malik, your Power Director Professor, and I'll be facilitating the curriculum for this Saturday, each and every freaking Saturday, for your viewing pleasure. Now, let me break down how this live stream is going to work. So I'll start off by saying hola to a lot of my friends and people who joined us today. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over the list of topics that I'm going to go over for the day. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and respond to some of your comments, do a little Q&A before I close out. Now, most of you guys already know that I do this for 1 hour, un hora, solamente porque I got a wife. All right, happy wife, happy life. I always tell y'all this every single show. So let's start off by seeing who the heck joined us today for the live stream. All right. So we got Wake Up. He said, I'm excited to catch a live. I've learned so much from you. Thank you. You're welcome, Wake Up. Thank you for joining us today. We got one of our usual suspects, Louis Ghetto, in the building. Says hello to all you lovely PD fans. What's going on, Louis? All right. We also got my man, Neil Forbes. He says, well, here I am, staying up well past Betty by time. Just waiting. Hey, Neil, thanks for joining me, my man. Appreciate you staying up past your bedtime because, I know sleep is muy importante. I know I got to get my 8 hours in every night so that I can look like this. Okay. Now, let's see. We also got Video Moment Productions. Welcome back from San Diego. What's going on? I think it's Pollyanna in the building, if I'm not mistaken. What's going on? How you doing? Oh, we got my head moderator in charge, Peter J. Milner. He says, good afternoon to one and all. Let's see. Oh, we got one of my Facebook moderators who will soon be a moderator on YouTube if he accepts my invite. Steve Williams. He says, hello to one and all. All right, we got Brian Lightfoot. He says deja vu. Yes, it is deja vu. I was back in your face, doing the things that I do. We got Liam Wakefield, who says hello to Peter J. Milner, but didn't say hi to me. I'm jealous. I know we all love Peter. I love Peter, but damn it, I'm jealous. Okay, Liam, show me a little love, would you? All right, oh, look who's here, California Phantom. So he's asking a question. I'll get back to you later with this question, California Phantom, because it's not Q&A time, but I will definitely get back to that. Let's see here. Let me see. Let's see. All right. I think I'm ready to get started here. We got Los Angeles in the building. Oded Sharoni, what's up? We got LA in the house. Hey, hope y'all are doing all right out there, man. Those fires all in your area and things like that, man. It's crazy. So I hope you guys are doing okay out there, man. All my people from the left coast, I hope you're doing good out there. All right. And we got, last but not least, I'm going to stop here with my man Brett Bartlett, who says howdy. And, that's what a good Texan would say. Howdy. I know how it goes down. All right. So I want to start off talking a little bit about our topics for the day. So it's been let me just ask you this. Like, have you seen a lot of users on PowerDirectors over the last 3 years who have seen a lot of changes with the software? Because I know I have. PowerDirector has gone through a lot, and most of the users have voiced their concerns on forums, with Cyberlink support, or with their religious figure of choice, because sometimes you just got to pray on it. So today I'm going to share the results of some of the polls that I created on some of my social media sites, so that we know exactly why some of these users are upset. Now, I do understand that this is some, okay? Not everybody's upset about some of the things with PowerDirector, but I'm going to go over the things that they're upset about, and then I'm also going to share why I'm excited about some of those things that these people are actually upset about. All right? So let's go ahead and get it cracking. Why are users upset with PowerDirector? So I'm going to start off with a poll that I showed on YouTube. So I asked this poll a while back, probably about a week ago, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Let's see what we got here. And I gave a few choices on this. So I said, been seeing a lot of questions about the future of PowerDirector based on changes to the software. Which change do you dislike the most? Now, 64%, as you can see here, of the 174 votes said the annual subscription. Only 5% of those said the new interface. 26% said AI tools and credits. And then 5% said other. I asked them to comment on that. So some of the comments that we saw from some of our YouTube people out there says, let's see, why charge for a one-time license when you can charge for an annual subscription? Makes sense to me in the corporate world, but I'm not. So kind of like being a little sarcastic with it, like the whole world is doing this, and that's a good point. There's another comment here. Let's see here. Highly detest annual subscription based on anything. Like I said, there's a lot of things out there doing annual subscriptions, and at the moment, like it's all over the place. There's even like things out there like Rocket Mortgage or whatever that will send you a thing to tell you like, hey, you got these subscriptions, and some people just totally miss the fact that they have subscriptions on something and they're paying for something they're not even using. So that just tells you how, I guess how frequent subscription programs are out there nowadays. There's a comment here that says like the time stretch on the audio and video needs to be improved so that it's more precise. Furthermore, there should be a function that is the possibility of changing the beats per minute of the song, and consequently, the video should also adapt to the audio. Yada yada yada. So this person has a beef. I guess they probably make a lot of videos where they sync their editing to the beat of the music. So, then there's some other comments on here about like some small changes to the interface. More about the subscription service. There's some comments on here about instability. So the program is not stable as it used to be. This person says they're paying a premium price for all the programs. So I guess they have the Director's Suite 365. And it says it still needs to pay for a lot of the stuff that used to be part of the package. So yeah, like the AI tools like that you get on there. Now, then we have another comment on here about Mac. So this is important too. So this person says, all I want for PowerDirector is a level playing field over Apple Mac Pro to be the same as Microsoft as on the Apple system. There is so much missing from the software. PowerDirector has not done a software update on the Apple Mac system for over a year now. And then the last comment that I have on here is about the subscription. So this was all on YouTube. Now I'm going to go into what was on Facebook, and then I'll kind of give you my thoughts on everything. So Facebook came in with 42% of the people saying the annual subscription was the main reason why the change that they disliked the most. 37% AI tools, about 11% is the new interface, and 10% other. Once again, you can see here in the comments, this person's talking about too many new features that are impacting the stability of the program. The tech support didn't help them. That's Ray. And then this person, Rodrigo, complained about the masking tool. Lee Coleman says he wants to buy his software outright, doesn't want to pay month to month on it. Mark says that he doesn't care about the emphasis on the AI tools. He's more worried about compatibility issues, higher resolution, more video formats, things like that to come out with it. Let's see. There's a whole list of things here that Carl said. So software is unstable. Features don't work and they're buggy. Higher features that it's lacking so that the program grows with him. So basically that's what he says. We got Darren on here. Gadgety gimmicks or features that the majority of people don't use, should be focusing on making a better editor. A difference. So Lucia says she hasn't noticed a difference at all. So that's what we got from Facebook. So a lot of comments on there, man. A lot of things going on with the differences in the program. So what I want to talk about then is the same things that were basically talked about on here. So first and foremost, annual subscription. People are pissed about the annual subscription. If you don't know, if you haven't been using PowerDirector for more than 3 or 4 years, it used to be that you could just buy PowerDirector, and every year PowerDirector would come out with a new version of the software. Now, what they would do is throughout the year, they might have patches or upgrades to the program, like for people who bought it, to give you new features and things like that throughout the year. And then each year, it usually happened around September, somewhere between August, September, or October. Every year, a new version of PowerDirector would come out. So I have been editing tutorials for this since like PowerDirector 10. PowerDirector 10 all the way up to PowerDirector 21. So basically almost like 11 years of PowerDirector tutorials in that span that were all different versions of PowerDirector. Well, at the end of version 21, I think they stopped doing the capability to buy a perpetual license, and all that was existing at that point was the annual subscription. Now, there was a time where you could buy an annual subscription and get the perpetual license at the same time. There was that moment in time where you had the option to do either or. Last I looked, I didn't find the option to do the perpetual license anymore. So if it's out there and I don't know about it, somebody tell me. But the only option I see now is PowerDirector 365. So basically, they took away people's options, and people aren't happy about having options taken away. Now, from a corporate standpoint, I think there was a comment that said, hey, great for corporations. Yeah, this is beautiful if you're a corporation, because what happens with perpetual licenses from time to time is people will buy a version and they'll just stick with it. Or they won't upgrade their perpetual license version for like 3 or 4 years because they want to save money. Makes sense to me, right? But as a corporation, you want to continue to generate revenue. And if you can continue to generate revenue on a consistent basis, having a subscription program in place is good for a company, right? So that's annual subscriptions. Like, people are upset, they're pissed off about it, they don't like them. The other thing that was in my list of things was the AI tools and gimmicks and gadgets. Let's just kind of put all that stuff together, right? AI tool. People are mad at the fact that these AI tools are out there because everyone edits differently. Okay. So because of the fact that everyone edits differently, some of these AI tools, some people are never going to use, right? So to them, it's, remember when they had like, and they still probably do have, I don't think they do, but they had bloatware for software. And whenever you would buy a software package, they would drop all these extra things into it. So when you installed it on your computer, it used to be, if you old like me, that you would just get all this extra crap on your PC you didn't even want. It's just all the stuff that came with the software that you were purchasing. Then eventually they moved on to saying, hey, options. And it'll give you options where you could do a customized install, or even as you were going through the install, maybe it would ask you about some of the additional software. Did you want to upload this or not? Or do you want to leave that off, or blah, blah, blah. And so it got to that point. And now it's more like, I think it's less of that bloatware that they used to have back in the day, and you just straight up get whatever you're trying to install. So there was a shift away from that. Now with AI tools, they're shifting back to just giving you stuff, even though you might not use it or you might not want it. Now, the problem with that is the same problem that bloatware caused, is that it strains the resources on your machine. So when you have all of these additional tools to use in the background, if they're running tools, right? If they're not running, you're not using them, it's not a big deal. You shouldn't even be worried about it, right? But if you're trying to do something and you're using one of those tools and you're also doing other editing, it could cause some instability issues because of the capability of your machine. It's not because of the software in most cases. It's because of the capability of your own machine, or it could be the file format that you're using, the codec that you're using. There are a wealth of different things that could be causing the strain of resources on your machine. But having gimmicky additional tools and features that you're using that you might not need to use, if you know how to do it on your own without using those tools, could be a factor to consider when those things are happening. So that's why people don't like the AI tools. They're just not using them, or they just feel like, these things are kind of like a waste of time for them. Now, the next thing is AI credits. So let's say you do want to use the AI tools and you're paying for a subscription. My understanding of how it works is this. If you have PowerDirector 365, I think you get like, depending on which version you have, you get a certain number of credits every month to use for AI tools. Now, the different program that you have, the different version, like if you have a standalone or you have Director Suite, you might get more credits if you have Director Suite than if you just have PowerDirector 365. So you get those credits because you bought the subscription, but each month they run out if you're really using those tools a lot. So people have the capability then to buy AI credits to use those AI tools. Now, you already paid a subscription, and now you got to pay extra money to use the tools because you like using them and you use them more than the credits that you have will allow you to use it. So it kind of makes you feel like, hey, I'm already paying this subscription. I'm paying for something. Now you want me to pay for something else at the beginning of while I'm using it during this month because I used it too much and now I don't have any more credits. So it kind of feels like a kick in the butt because you're using the tools that they're giving you access to. Now you want to have to pay for using the tools that they're giving you access to. So it seems like a double-edged sword for a lot of people, and they're not happy about that. And at the end of the day, if you do find value in the AI tools, then you're already paying for subscription and you should be able to use them. Now, I kind of looked at this like when it first came out, like, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but the first AI tools that came out for PowerDirector, there was like a limited amount that you could do in a day, I think is what it was. And if you tried to use the feature and you used it more than 3 times in a day, you had to wait till the next day to use it again, right? Now, I'm not a developer. I don't know how it works, but it sounds to me like at that time, there were like some restrictions based on it because of their system on the back end. Whatever they're doing on the back end had some limitations to how many times it could be used. So they had a limit for each person. I don't know. Maybe that's not the case. I need somebody from Cyberlink to tell me that. But it kind of made me feel like, they're limiting the use of it for some reason. Like, is this going to be something that they're going to charge for? And I was wondering that when it came out, like, are they going to start charging people for this to like kind of mitigate the amount of times people can use it or whatever? Because not letting them use it more than 3 times in a day was kind of weird, because if you're looking for like an AI thing and you can't find what you want, you got to use it again to kind of do another search. So I kind of felt that they were going to do something like that from jump, but people don't like it. AI credits, yucky. People hate them. And user interface, I saw a few comments on that. It really wasn't a big deal about the user interface. I think it was 11% on one, 5% on the other one. User interface doesn't seem to be like a big deal, but there were some comments about things like the speed tool, how they change speeds, some comments about, just some of the rearrangement of the user interface, changed up their workflow and made it seem longer to do things that they could do a lot quicker before without those changes to the interface. So some people don't like the changes to the interface. Some people do. To me, I like it. I like the look of it, right? It looks a lot cleaner. But at the same time, there's a learning curve for anyone when you change the things on the user interface and you change the location of stuff. And that was happening like not every year with the new rollouts of PowerDirector when it was a perpetual license, but it was happening. So now you can see it happening within this version as well. One thing that one of the users brought up, and I know not everybody has this issue, but the Mac version has not been updated in forever, man. And I'm like, I got a Mac and I had it on my Mac too. And I was like, when are y'all gonna like align these things so that they're exactly the same? And there were comments about like, how, Apple interface, the OS is different and this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. But man, I don't know what their roadmap looks like at Cyberlink to like get the Mac updated, but it's got to be ridiculously long. I mean, it's been a long time, man, and there hasn't been any changes to that. So if I was a Mac user and I bought PowerDirector, and I was expecting some updates to happen, I'd be pretty upset. Now, as a Mac and Windows user myself, I always make sure that I check on what the features are of a software before I get it, regardless of which OS I'm using it on. So I would just recommend that, man. If you got a Mac and you're looking in the PowerDirector, make sure that you look and make sure you understand what features are not in that version before you buy it, so that you don't have buyer's remorse on that. And the last thing about why users are upset with PowerDirector is crashing and freezing. So, yes, I experienced that myself when I first upgraded to PowerDirector 365 about a year and a half ago. I had some issues and I was working with support. I told you guys this last live stream and I just couldn't get it working. And then I finally decided to go back to it and check some things on my own again, because I had tried so much. I was like, I just got to be something going on with this. And I ended up being able to change some security settings in the BIOS on my computer that allowed me to upgrade to Windows 11. And when I was able to make that upgrade, everything worked great with PowerDirector. Now, I was pretty sure that it wasn't my hardware, because I have specs that are pretty high on all of my hardware. May not be as high as some of yours, but I felt that mine were significantly higher than the recommended specs. So I knew that wasn't it. And if anything, it might have been the software, but that I was figuring, hey, if they know their software and I know they're rolling it out, trying new stuff, and there's going to be bugs with that, I understand that. But at some point, I felt like, hey, you guys should do better. So that kind of upset me, because hey, I'm supposed to be like, maybe not an official ambassador or anything, but at least I represent the software in a good way, in a good light. And at the end of the day, they weren't able to help me. I was able to help myself later, and now I'm back using PowerDirector again. So it's all good. So when I think about those things, those are the reasons why people were upset as far as I'm concerned. So users upset, didn't like it. They're like, through, done with you. But now I want to talk about why I'm excited about PowerDirector. So through all of the rigmarole and craziness that is going on, I'm excited, damn it. And let me tell you why, for freak's sake. First and foremost, innovation. I think that Cyberlink and PowerDirector are trying to lead in innovating some of the things that are going to be a part of regular video editing in the future. Just putting it out there. Like, could they be doing better with some of the innovations? Could the background removal tool be better on moving subjects? Could they not be charging AI credits for using AI? There's a whole lot of things that I'm not just going to sit there and act like it's okay with, right? I understand why people ain't happy with stuff, but I'm happy. I'm ready. I'm willing to wade through the crap, the sewage, because they're innovating and they're trying to be out in front of most of the innovation that's happening right now with all of the AI tools and things that they're trying to integrate into the program. So I think that's a beautiful thing, because to me, there's other companies out there doing the same thing. When we talk about, like, I think there was a comment about, they need to focus on the program itself and, the features of the program. And I agree. There's a lot of more professional features that PowerDirector could be putting out there. At the same time, though, you got to think about cost. The more you integrate into it, the more cost you're looking to, more expense you're generating, and on the back end, and you're going to move that on to the revenue so that you can make money for your customers. So yes, they could be working on features and things like that, but working on AI is working on features. It is, because eventually, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, a lot of the stuff that we do manually and love to do and customize in our editing, you're just going to be able to do it through AI. Just telling you, there are features out there in some of these programs where they're doing a whole lot of stuff for you. For example, let me bring up screen here. I'm gonna share my screen and show you some stuff. Because that's what I do. I'm gonna show you some stuff. You gonna learn. Damn it, you gonna learn. Okay. So right now I'm sharing the screen for Adobe. So this is Adobe Premiere Pro. And so they're talking about on this page AI in Adobe Premiere Pro. So there's AI in Premiere Pro. They're trying to innovate and lead, be in the forefront of the AI revolution with their video editor as well. So when you look at it, you've got some upcoming things. This one right here is like generated extended frames. You can add frames, lengthen ambient audio, eliminate awkward cuts, all kind of stuff. I ain't going into it and look at exactly what it does, but that's the AI tool that they have. Object addition, you can add objects, you can remove objects. They got some other stuff on here. Media intelligence, which is something that PowerDirector is working on, kinda, right? Like, I think they're taking the first steps in that, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Automatic caption translation, text-based editing, rough cuts, audio category tagging, speech to text, enhanced speech, yada, yada, yada. So you see where I'm going with this. Like, PowerDirector or Cyberlink, however you want to call it, we're not like sitting here and saying that they're the only ones right now doing AI. A bunch of different editors are using AI. They're trying to innovate. They're all trying to innovate and make editing simpler. So we already know that through like generations of like creatives, we're all creatives, right? In this live stream, we all create videos. We all love content creation. This AI thing, trying to make things easier for us, trying to be innovative, help us do it with ease, help us do it better. Help us do things we didn't know how to do. Eventually, I think that if they continue to innovate with this AI, they about to put us all out of business. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, they're gonna make it so simple that anybody can go in there and edit a video. But for now, right? For now, we're the ones that are going through the learning curve. But I'm excited that Cyberlink is trying to innovate through PowerDirector and not waiting till somebody else does it and then copying that. They're trying to innovate and lead, right? Which is going to help me create better content. Now, the other thing that I'm happy about or excited about with PowerDirector is they're creating competition, right? Like, and there's competition being created for PowerDirector. Now, to me, when I think about that, I'm thinking about the fact that all of these tools that they're out there making, the user interface, they're trying to compete and get better. So when we see all of these changes and say, hey, I don't like how they change the user interface, I'm pretty sure they're doing user testing, they're doing compatibility testing, they're doing all types of testing to make sure that it's the right move to make, because they have to try to create a product that competes with all the other editing softwares out there, because they've been doing this for a while. So all the other competition out there, the changes, they're making changes too. They're adding AI tools like I just showed you in Adobe. They're changing their interface. They're doing all types of things that are creating a competitive landscape for us to have choices. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I've told you this before, I'll tell you again. I use DaVinci Resolve. I use PowerDirector. I use them both. I use them in different circumstances for different things, right? So DaVinci Resolve, I have a perpetual license, a one-time license. I bought it. It cost $300 to own it, but I had to pay the $300 because, like I always tell you guys, I have a Canon and I like to shoot in RAW with that device, a cinema camera, but I can shoot in RAW. And in order to use the RAW files, you can't have the free version of DaVinci Resolve. That doesn't support the RAW codec. So I had to pay for it, but it's a one-time payment. Great for me, right? Who knows? DaVinci Resolve might change that in the future. I have no idea. But right now I got a perpetual license. I can go ahead and use it. And I use it for when I have to film things with my cinematic camera from Canon. And I usually am using that at events and things like that. So I do have DaVinci Resolve. And it does have a lot of features in it that PowerDirector doesn't have. But DaVinci Resolve doesn't have any of the AI features that PowerDirector has. So there's trade-offs, right? No two softwares are exactly the same, and no two softwares give the exact same experience to the user, which is why I always say, when people say, hey, what's the best video editing software? I'm like, there is none. It's all up to the user. It's all up to you and what your needs are. There is no best anything, because if there was a best that was the best price, best program, then everyone would have it. And no other software would exist. But that's not the case. There's competition out there. And all these changes that are being done, whether it's a user interface, whether it's AI tool, all that, is creating more competition. And that's giving us choices for whether it's the price of the software, whether it's the price of the subscription, whether it's the tools that you get to use, whether you're going to use those tools or not. That's why I always talk about do your research before you buy any type of software, because you may end up having buyer's remorse if you buy something and you're not using all the features and something like that. So another reason why I'm excited, or two reasons: innovation and then competition. All right. Now, the last reason why I'm excited about PowerDirector and Cyberlink is I'm excited about the subscriptions. Okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone out there, because 60-something% of y'all hate them. I'm freaking excited about it. Let me explain a little bit to you exactly why. So, let's say I don't know, I bought something from a certain company, right? And when I bought it, worked great, worked fantastically. But I had it 2-3 years, then it stopped working. Doesn't work as well anymore. I reach out to the developer or the manufacturer of that product, and they tell me, well, that product is 3 years old. We don't support that anymore. Sorry, bye. I'm done. I just got to figure it out myself, search all over the web, try to figure something out. Any company can tell you, we no longer support that if it's old, whether it's software, whatever it is. No one has to support your version of it if it's old and outdated. They can easily say, we've moved on to a different platform, this and that. We can't support it because the yada, 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 whatever the case may be, right? The reason why I love the subscription is because I get responsibility and accountability from Cyberlink. That cost equals accountability. That price equals responsibility. I have the most up-to-date version, as long as I keep updating it. If I keep paying my subscription, they have a responsibility to fix, to upgrade, to give me new titles, to add new features, to improve the program, to, even if it takes a while, even if things are buggy and they get messed up, they have that responsibility. They cannot allow their software to sit out there for subscribers who are paying for it and not be functional, right? That's just not possible for anyone who has a subscription-based program, software, service, whatever. Your stuff can't be down. It got to work, and you got to give value. So because of the fact that they have subscription, I'm always expecting more from them, right? And that excites me, because I'm expecting you to do something for my money, and I'm going to ask you to, right? I'm not just going to leave it out there and not let you be responsible for what I'm doing. I am actively paying you for your service, and I want you to give me what the heck I deserve every month, every day, every week, whatever, every year, right? So with the subscription, there is a cost and there is accountability, there's a price, and there's responsibility. And that's why I'm excited. If they continue to do that, now, could they be better at their customer support? Yep. Could they be better at delivering value and making sure I get all the updates? Yeah, they could. Could they give me more? Could they be doing feature updates that are not AI tools and just like adding more features to my video editing capability? Yep, they sure can. But that's what we're here for. We're the customer. We need to be pushing and asking for these things. We need to not accept anything less than what we deserve. And so for me, I'm just going to keep pushing, right? Y'all may feel like, well, my voice is probably heard a little bit more than most others because I use it. I make videos about it. I can contact them if I need to, and hopefully they return my responses. But at the end of the day, we all need to do this together. Just me doing it by myself ain't enough, right? We're all paying for this. So we all should be making sure that we're holding them accountable for delivering value that gives us what we need and more. So that's why I'm freaking excited. Okay. Innovation, competition, subscriptions. I'm excited about all of those things. They make me get inside. Freaking love it. And if you're loving this conversation, please like this video. Okay. You can definitely hit me up with a super chat or a super sticker because that will help me out so much. And also, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to PowerDirector University. All right. So that you can get this content every week. You get tutorials every Tuesday. It's all good. You're going to love it. Also, if you're not doing this, make sure that you follow me on your preferred media or social media platform. Links are in the video description if you want to follow me on social media. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about PowerDirector itself. So let's see if we can talk about the latest updates from PowerDirector, because they dropped some jewels on us recently, and I do want to touch base on a few of those. Can't be left in the dark on all this stuff. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I was talking about. All right. So there were new updates that came out. It was a promo video from Cyberlink that said, hey, we got all this new jazz that we want to share with you, yada, yada, yada. All right. So it's my job to tell you about what those new things are. Now, some of these things aren't new. Some of them are just like enhanced or updated things. So just know that. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is the AI talking avatar. It turns images into talking avatars. So you can do that by going to talking avatar. Here on the left, you got to be under the media tab. Go to talking avatar. You can use some of these, I guess, sample avatars over here that they have, or you can click on there and you can go ahead and add your own. Let me see where mine is. I think we got them here. Now, if you use one and like the face is too close to the screen, it'll tell you like, yeah, you're too close. Damn it. You need to pick another picture or whatever. So keep that in mind. And you click on OK. Then you got import your audio. So you can drag it in here. Let me see if I can just drag some in. Get the dragon. How about that? All right. Now it can only be like, I guess the most is 10 minutes. So you can hit trim and you can trim it down to 10 minutes. Let's see here. So do that. Then you click on generate. So it tells me the estimated cost on this is going to be 30 credits. So I got like 1,200 credits right now. That's 30 credits. Good Lord. It's a lot of credits. But that's how it works. So just keep in mind, I'm not going to generate nothing right now. So I will be doing a tutorial on this. So you guys want to check it out, then I'll use the credits. Okay. When I create the tutorial, I'll use the credits. All right. So The next thing I wanted to talk about that they dropped from PowerDirector is AI Copilot. So this gives you guidance on how to edit your video. So if you don't know how to do something, you can use this. They trying to put a brother out of business. They trying to put me out of business. All right. So up here at the top, you see AI Copilot. You click on that. Got this little window that opens up. And let me see if y'all can even see the window. Because sometimes stuff, no, it's not showing y'all the window. So kind of sucks. Let me see if I can change it to see if y'all can see the little window here. Last time I tried that, it didn't let me show y'all the window, which sucks, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's see if it lets me do it. All right, cool. Let me do it. All right, so this is the window that pops up after you click on AI Copilot. So what happens here is it tells you how do you change the video speed. That's the last thing that I typed in there. And it gave me all this information on how to change this video speed. I could ask it, how do you trim video? And I can hit play and it'll process and it'll tell me how to trim video, right? So this will tell you how to do things. Now, if there's something that you figured out, you say, hey, I want to save that for later. I don't want to have to come in here and ask it again. It just broke it down. It broke it down how to multi-trim, how to single trim. Get your trim on. So if you want to say something, let's say, hey, I really want to know. I don't know how to trim video. I need to say that for later because I'm always wondering how to do that. You can click on this. And basically what it'll do is it'll send it to your notebook. And you can go ahead and should be able to scroll. There you go. You can scroll through. You can pull up the stuff that you save, right? And if you don't want to save it anymore, you can just delete it from here. And you can go back to chat. You can ask him more questions. So pretty cool tool right there. Let's see here. Go back to PowerDirector here. All right. So the next tool that they added or enhanced really was the AI video enhancement. So this makes smoother and sharper details for your video, especially with like moving objects and things like that. So if you go to tools, you go to AI video enhancement. It'll tell you to pick a video. Open that. And then you get your options here. So if you want to upscale it to 1080p or 4K, you can use this to do that. If you just want to create smoother video, you can use frame interpolation. I was going to tell you that you have to have like a video that's 30 frames per second or lower to use frame interpolation. So then you click on enhance, tells you how many credits it's going to be. It's 1 credit per second. So you got 30 seconds, you got 30 credits. So it's that. So once again, I'm not going to use it right now. And just to let you know, the AI Copilot right now, it doesn't cost you any credits to use that. So that's cool that they have that there. So there's also enhanced video speed controls. So this gives you smoother slow motion and adjustments in the quick editing panel. So if you were to select a clip, I'll select the same clip and we go to edit and we go to the speed tab up here at the top. Then you can go ahead and change the speed of the whole clip by just using the slider. And that's under the uniform speed. So that changes everything. If you wanted to do like speed ramping, you can use speed presets, right? Where you can click on the different speeds and it'll show you that, okay, it speeds up, speeds down, speeds up, speeds down. So they basically tell you what they're doing here and where they're doing it at. You can move these nodes to where you need to move them to change the speed, or you could do custom, where it starts off as a straight line and then you can add nodes or change the speed where you want to on your own to change, do speed ramping that way. So enhanced video control, that's a cool thing. You also have enhanced AI background removal. So let's say we wanted to remove a background. We got this guy here. We can select our clip and go to edit, and we'll go to video. And then you got background remover. So you can turn that on, and you can make the background transparent. You can blur the background. There's a whole lot of different things you could do on here to change that. I'm not going to go through all of it right now. If you click on advanced, it opens up another window with more options in it. Let me show you what I'm seeing real quick. Since I changed windows, it's probably going to not show it to you. Still not showing it. See, it's real iffy about what it wants to show and what it don't want to show. That's what I don't get. But anyway, I'm not going to go into it anyway. Those are the options on that one. So you can pretty much understand where I'm going with it. You can remove the background. Okay. So let me just show you what I just did and just remove the background. It was a white background. And what I just did was basically I just removed that white background, and now it's just this guy. If I put him on a timeline somewhere, then I can move him underneath something else, and he should show on there with being in the background. If I move him here, then we should be able to see the beach behind him, right? And when you play it back, you might get a good look. You might not get a good look. This one looks pretty good. And I'm going to kind of talk about this tool. I'm going to do a tutorial on it as well to kind of give you guys an idea of the differences of what type of videos will work with AI background removal and which ones aren't going to work so well, at least in my estimation anyway. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is there's some new titles that they dropped on us. So they gave us some new titles. So if we go to the title room, under what's new, you'll see these dynamic titles, these 10 here, they're new titles that they gave you. Of course, if you want to use them, you got to click on them to download them. But, you know, just little dynamic titles. Like we said, I heard there was some talk about gimmicky stuff and things like that, you know, hey, but I'm always about, and I told you guys this before, I'm always about having more titles and more transitions because you never know when you might actually need it for something and you might actually use it. So, you know, sometimes you might think it's a gimmick, but sometimes you might need a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like it depends on what you're making and what you're doing. So it's all gravy. So I think we hit all the topics for the day. So now it's Q&A time. So let me see what you guys have been talking about because I've been just talking all day, you know, doing my thing. Time to get to these comments. Wow, somebody said F credits. You nasty. F credits. Woo-wee. Somebody mad at some credits, boy. I'll tell you right there now, boy. I'm angry at them credits. All right, so I did say I was going to go back to a comment, a question earlier, so I'm going to start off with that one, man. All right. So first one here, California fan said, any of you guys have issues with PowerDirector 360 when you click video that you imported, the preview window showing the wrong aspect ratio? I saw that with a video that I exported. It was funny. I was exporting a short. So I made a tutorial for you guys, which you'll be able to see Tuesday. And I went back to that short, found a segment of it that I felt was going to be popular in a short format, and I changed the aspect ratio to 9:16 so that I could create a short. So I did that, created the short 9:16, 1080 by 1920, right? So everything's good. I looked at it, details, properties were good. It was 1080 by 1920. 9:16, everything was gravy. That's what I thought. So when I went into a program, a scheduler, to schedule the video as a short on different platforms, so it was Facebook, I think, and IG, it said that I was using a 19:20, 10:80 video. And when I went back and looked at the properties of the video, once again, it was correct. So that's the only thing I've seen. I haven't seen the wrong aspect ratio showing up on anything else, like in the preview window. But if you haven't like went in and tried to refresh, shut it down, open it back up, I guess a few times. If that's not working, go to your preferences, make sure your preferences are set. Really not sure what else to really talk about on that one. I guess we had some people on here. You also said mine slammed the preview window. It looked funny until I imported into the timeline. Now I haven't experienced that, California Phantom, but I mean, if you do end up figuring out what it is and want to get back with us, hit us up. PowerDirector users on Facebook. If you use Facebook, that'd be a cool place to get back. Or you can come back to this video and reply and let us know how everything worked out with that. All right. Let's see. Got my man William Palanick. He said, "Good afternoon, Malik. Nice to see you back again." Thanks, William. Appreciate you, man, for dropping by again and showing some love. You always come through strong, so I'm always gonna be giving you the love, man. Thank you. Dex Clan Dev Entertainment said, "I love your channel. I love it too. I love what you do. I love my PDPs though, for real, for real." Mike says, "Thanks for all your videos. Have helped me decide to buy the software, and then I use it better." Hey, Mike, appreciate that, man. I'm glad that I was able to help you make a buying decision and that you're pleased with that and pleased with the tutorials, what they're doing for you. All right. Skeeter Berserk. I'm just going to say this because I like the fact that you said it. Say my name. Say my name. Thank you, Skeeter. All right. Brian Lightfoot said, "How come Malik looks the same after the sabbatical? Hasn't aged a day." Look, boy. Don't play with me, Brian Lightfoot. Don't play with me, Mr. Lightfoot. Making my head all big. Appreciate the love, bro. I do got some, be able to see some grays coming through. But that's all I'm trying to do. I love being a silverback. Let me have some gray. It shows that I am seasoned correctly. All right. All right. Let's see. Peter said, "Plug and pray, Malik." Plug and pray, my friend. You ain't lying, my brother. Plug and pray. All right, California Phantom says, "I have Canon R5 Mark II and I can't edit RAW, even though Cyberlink says I can, and R5 Mark I you can." I went through a lengthy support ticket only for them to say they don't support R5 M2 for now. Yeah, man, that sucks. Especially if if they're specific about, hey, we support this codec and the specific sample rate, color sampling rate, like 422, whatever the case may be. Like when they say that they support it, they should support it. That goes back to my point about, look, I'm paying for something, right? I'm paying for a subscription. This means it should work every time. You should be delivering on value. And if you're not, salute. You got to do what you got to do. But would be lovely if it could. I would love it if it could support my C70 raw LT files, but it can't. Stay Focused says subscriptions trash, baby. Like I said, I love the subscription. I don't care what you say. You stay focused. DI. Peter said, I think the subscription-based model gets a lot of criticism. In my view, it's worth it simply to maintain the latest version of the software with enhancements, bug fixes, and new releases. I knew Peter would agree with me. Okay? That's what I'm freaking talking about. They have to be accountable for their product. They have to give us the latest version of the software. They have to give us enhancements. They have to fix bugs. They have to give us the new. They have to do their end of the bargain. That cost should equal some value, and you got to do your end of the end of the bargain. So thanks, Peter J. Milner. I appreciate that, my brother. Look, man, Peter Lauterbach, welcome back. What's up? Oh, I said Peter. Chris, I'm sorry, Chris. But Chris, another one of my moderators on here. You see, you got the wrench by your name, Chris. I just gave it to you, brother. I don't know if you wanted it or not, but look, you got moderator capabilities because I know you. I trust you. Thank you for stopping through, my friend. All right. My man Neil says, Peter J. Milner, I've avoided the subscription because the version I have works well for me, PD20 Ultimate. Yeah, it goes back to my point. Like back in the day, you could get 20, you can get 21. Those versions of it, you could get perpetual license. Didn't have to worry about anything. You're good to go. And it works now, my friend. Okay, it goes back to the point I made earlier. In time, you might start running into some issues. I pray that you don't. Keep my fingers crossed, Neil. I don't want you to. I don't want that to happen at all. I want your program, your software to keep working perfectly. But this is like the times we live in. And so having a subscription helps with that side of it. So it's all up to you, though. I mean, whatever you feel is best, man, is what's best. That's how I feel. You got to do what you like. I'm just telling you what I like and why I'm excited. Steve Williams, I'm going to make you a moderator too, buddy. You may not, you gonna get it as soon as I get out of here. Steve says, I want to understand why so many people complain about the subscription. Don't people realize that perpetual license option still exists? Now, see, that was my question. Like, I looked and I couldn't find the perpetual license again. Maybe I need to go back and check my links because the link that I used to use to give the perpetual license doesn't work anymore. Now, I do understand that there's a free version you can get. That gives you some usage, and then it tries to get you to buy 365 at some point. It keeps popping up a message about buying the subscription. I need to look into the perpetual license because if it still exists, I'm definitely going to be putting that out there as an option because for me, last I saw, I could not find that option anymore. If it's still out there, Steve, great. I'll look for it and I'll find it. O'Day Sharoni says, I have a few computers that can't work simultaneously on 2 computers. It used to be for 5 computers. Yeah, my understanding is that with the subscription, it's only 2. Now it might have used to be for 5 before. I don't know. But my understanding is that you can use it on 2 machines at the same time. And that's it. If you try to use more than that, it's not going to let you, at least with the subscription now, as I understand it. We got Sanctioned One. He says, not a fan of subscription-based programs at all. So yeah, this and look, Sanctioned One, you might be sanctioned by some companies coming up soon because unfortunately, almost every single service out there is trying to move towards some type of monthly or annual subscription. It's like you might be able to escape it for a minute, man, but it looks like that's the wave of the future. Everything is trying to come through with a subscription for you to do this, a subscription to do that. It's cray. Neil says, Malik, here. It's called democracy, to have the choice. Yes. Always good to have that choice, my brother. I agree. That should be what it is. Unfortunately, I think a lot of things are moving away from choice. Like Adobe, you don't even get a choice. You can't buy none of their stuff outright. It's subscription or get the heck out of here, you know? So Peter says, it's to do with staffing and support. Cyberlink don't want to be in a position where they have to support multiple versions of the software. It's a certain decision. It's a support decision rather than a marketing or sales one. I think it's both. You got to look at things holistically, right? I don't think it's just a sales thing. I don't think it's just a support thing either. I think it's both. I think that those things in combination makes it all easier and more beneficial for Cyberlink to do what they do. It's going to be a lot easier to support one version of PowerDirector instead of worrying about version 20, 21, whatever other versions you got out there, right? Or whatever they call it now. I don't know if they even put a number behind the perpetual license version anymore, but it's a lot easier to just have, hey, we know this is what we built and we've updated it to this point. We're on version blah, blah, blah. We're going to tell you to upgrade to this version and then we'll try to fix your problems. But also, it creates revenue that is sustained revenue. Until somebody drops a subscription, they're going to sustain revenue. They have a customer every single year. That makes money. It makes a lot more money than depending on everybody to find value in the new version and buy it. Because some people, I remember back when they used to come up with new versions all the time, I used to have people tell me, I don't use that version. I'm still on version whatever, right? I'm like, look, I upgrade to the latest version and I keep it moving, right? But some people don't. They don't want to. That's their prerogative, right? So the support thing, the sales, the marketing, all of that stuff makes it either generates more money or it reduces expense. So they're all holistically, it's all better for Cyberlink. There we go. Toga22 says Perpetual is still being sold as PD 2025. So I appreciate you giving me the update on the actual software and the name of it, because like I said, I'm still getting caught up on things, y'all. Okay, and I need y'all to keep me in the loop. California Phantom says the same thing. You can still buy a perpetual license, even 2025 suite. So the director's suite. Just don't buy 365. If you want to buy perpetual, buy that version. There it is. Steve says, indeed, it is. And yet so many people seem to think that it doesn't. Very odd. Darren Flitton says, would be better if you could use computer and app for phone, but different subscription. Okay, I think what you're saying, Darren, is you want them to be combined where you just buy it once and you just use them, the computer and the app for the phone, like with one subscription. Like if you buy it, it just comes with the app. Once again, I think that goes back to the point that I was talking about with Peter. It's a combination of things. Support being one. Revenue driving. They get more money if they have it on the app store. You get an app you buy and you pay for. So, I mean, all those things together, man. And some people don't want to edit on one and not the other. Some people just want to edit on one. Some people want to edit on both and be able to send things between the different programs. So understand, once again, it's all about choice. Like a lot of people are going to want a lot of different things. And if you find value in the app and the PC or Mac version, then they're hoping that you pay for both. It is what it is. California Fan said it's easier to complain about a license than to buy the right version for them. I don't get it. I guess here's the thing for me, man. Like, I get it. Don't get it twisted. I've been doing this for years. Ever since the annual subscription came out, I'm like, people, you could buy the perpetual license, right? Until just when I just came back, I couldn't find it, so I thought it was gone. But before that, before I left, I was always telling people the same thing. There's a perpetual license. You could buy it if you want it. You don't have to buy 365. Some people, and I'm just guessing here, don't want to buy the new version. Like you got Neil. He don't want to buy the new version. He's like, I'm on PD 20. I'm good. I didn't need 21. I don't need 2024, and I don't need 2025. I'm on PD 20. But I bet you if you ask Neil, he would love for them to update PD 20 with the features that are in the new versions because he paid for it. Some people feel that if you pay for something, you should always get an update. Like DaVinci Resolve. I paid for it once, years ago. I have the most up-to-date version of DaVinci Resolve today. Not because I pay more. I paid for it many years ago, and I keep getting updates to update it to the current version, and I just paid for that one time. So I would bet money that anybody who paid for PowerDirector feels that they should get updates to the new version for free every time a free version comes out. So I think that's why people are upset about 365. They don't want to have to pay every year for a new version of it. They feel like they should get the new version with the version they got that they paid for years ago. Now, I'm just telling you what I think other people feel. I could be wrong. I'm not saying what I feel. I already told you how I feel. I like the fact that there's a subscription because it creates responsibility, right? And accountability for the company in my mind. They can easily tell you, hey, you bought a perpetual license. We're not updating that. Sorry, because that's what they're doing right now, but people feel that they should. Jeff Hudson says, I no longer use Photoshop because you only get 3-year license for Elements. When subscription ends for PowerDirector, I will probably no longer use. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is on that stuff, man. Some people want to move on to something else that they find that they can buy. There's always a learning curve with anything new. So that's probably the only downside to moving to something else is that you got that learning curve. California Phantom says that we're talking about AI and credits here. So y'all know we kind of moved from subscriptions to more of a credits and AI conversation. California Phantom says credits are stupid. Dumbest feature to have provided something, then get charged if you use it too much. Unnecessarily penalized. It's backward logic. I agree. Yep. I think it's double dipping. I mean, you're paying for a subscription and now you got... Now, I will also say this. If I am correct here, and I think I am, I think other companies are doing something similar. Now, that don't mean that Cyberlink has to do it. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying just because somebody else does it, the Cyberlink should do it too. Let me see if they have. I think... And I'm just typing in some stuff here so y'all can just... Yep. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out if they have a site to tell you how it works. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again. So credits suck. Unfortunately, it looks like everybody's moving to credits. This is Adobe again. So they have generative AI and they have generative credits. So if you generate something and I don't know all the specifics of it, right? But if you have like a certain, I guess, subscription, or maybe you don't have a subscription or whatever, I don't know, you have to get AI credits to use some things like generative fill, whatever. Like, here's an exception list of things that you get an exception for. So it tells you about a consumption rate for pixels per unit or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say like what those credits equal, what the value of them are, or what the cost is. Let me see if they have something on there for that. Let's see. The Creative Cloud all apps have increased from $54.99 to $54.99 due to inclusion of AI capabilities like Firefly. So it looks like they increased the price, at least for this one, of the Creative Cloud all apps plan. So if you got all the apps, because of the integration of AI features. So I'm not sure like why they talk about credit separately from the subscription price. Maybe there's more that I need to learn about this, but the point that I'm trying to make is this. To your point, other people are charging for it. Whether they're charging for it through their subscription and raising the price, or whether they're creating generative AI credits and they're going to start charging for that. I don't know. So this story came out in October 2024 for Adobe. I don't know if it's going to creep into other prices or cost more, but it's something that's happening across the board. I just want you guys to know it's not just a Cyberlink thing, but I still don't like it regardless, right? Ivan says if buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing. I don't agree with that at all. I'm not even going to get into that one. That's just bad discussion right there. That's thievery. Neil says it gets back to those buffoons tinkering and tampering with the program to suit themselves with no thought whatsoever for the end user. I don't agree with that. I mean, I think they think about the end user experience all the time. Do they make the right decisions? I don't know if they do. Based on most of our opinions and what most of us want, they might not make the decision that seems to be best for us at the time. But I think that they understand a few things. I think that they understand that change happens and people get used to them. That's life. Like things change. There are things that we weren't used to before that we thought were stupid that we probably use every day, like cell phones. I bet back in the day, a lot of people, older people like myself might have been thinking, man, why you need to have a phone with you all the time? Well, that's just stupid, having a phone with you all the time. Now we got phones with us all the time, you know? And that's just one example of many. People get used to stuff. Also, people have a tolerance level. So I think that with a lot of companies out there, when they're going to integrate new things into their product or service, they really think about, okay, so what's the tolerance level that we're able to accept for people leaving or people staying, and how can we straddle that line or be on the fence with that so that we don't go too far over to one side or the other. So, I think that they understand what they're doing and they're taking into account the end user. I think that some people are on one side and some people are on the other, and they're riding the line like, hey, we want to make sure that we got enough customer sustainment when we integrate this new thing. So he says, I use the AI tools on and off and never run out of credits, especially as they also give free extra daily allowance on top of the standard monthly allocation. So that's good. I mean, I ain't never got a daily allowance, but I would like to get more. Peter says, Cyberlinks provide an array of AI caliber servers in the backend, which processes the AI tasks. These need paying for, hence AI credits. Thank you for that, Peter. I mean, if we have more understanding as to why, then maybe we understand and accept a little bit more. Maybe we still don't. Maybe we still say, so what? But at least we have the option, right? California Phantom says, pay $169 and buy the perpetual license. I'd rather pay the 40-ish with discount for license per year and get latest updates. I think I agree with that. Let's see. Well, I agree with it from a subscription point of view. I think you're saying to buy the annual, the perpetual every year, which there could be some pros and cons to that too. Raylo said, is the AI done on my machine or is it uploaded? I have privacy concerns since I use it in a law practice. So they have servers, like Peter just said, that process, like that push to you the information for you to have your PC to have the capability to do it. Does it do it using your PC's hardware? Yes, it does. But it's actually doing it through the software and through the use of those servers, because you have to be connected online to do the AI processing. So it's kind of like a mix. It's a hybrid thing. It's not really one or the other. Wide Open Throttle says, I'm having problems when uploading video clips in PowerDirector from my GoPro to Mac. Can you help me? So I don't have the version on the Mac anymore, so I don't really have much insight into that. And when you say I'm having problems when uploading video clips, that could be anything to me. Like, I don't know what having problems means. And I don't know what your settings on your GoPro are, what codec you're using on that, what the PowerDirector Mac accepts as acceptable codecs. Of course, we could look that up and see what it is, but there's a whole lot of different variables to your question. So there would probably have to be some back and forth on that. If you're not part of my PowerDirector users group on Facebook, you can join PowerDirector users, join that group, and then ask your question there. But make sure that you include things like, the file format of the type of file and codec that you're creating with your GoPro. If you can look up the CyberLink Mac input or import acceptable file types, then that will be helpful too, because maybe you can just figure it out on your own. So it's a few options for you there. Yeah, California fan said CyberLink practically abandoned Mac updates. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Peter just had the same thing. Like, in what way are you having problems? We need to kind of know what problems you're talking about. So there's some things there that you got to be concerned about, and we got to know more about in order to help you. California Phantom says, honestly, Mac users forgot Final Cut. Who the hell you using PowerDirector when you forgot Final Cut? I don't know. Let's see here. Got a few more minutes here, so I'll try to scroll through. Matter of fact, I'm over time, but I'll scroll through real quick and see if there's anything I want to touch base on before I jet out of here. Let's see. This is something I agree with. Peter said, I would like to see ColorDirector be more like DaVinci for color grading. It needs nodes, base, or layers, as I have suggested, process, and it also needs ACES grading process. Yep. Odette Shironi says, I'm with you. I love the subscription idea. I like it. Steve Williams says, more likes, peeps. It's only a free click away. This, I agree. So if you have not liked it, please click that like button. It's pretty easy. It's free, and it helps me. So please do it. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that too. Catching with Key TV. What's up? Says subscription all the way. I'm with you, bro. Let's see. Jeff Hudson said, accountability for you, maybe, but haven't done crap for me. You subscribe, and they keep charging you for stuff. That is BS. Having to wait for weeks for email replies, that is BS. Yes, it is BS. I don't think that I said that. I also said they have the responsibility to do better, like as far as customer support and customer service. So, I mean, all we can do is just keep asking for it or be out. I mean, there's two options. We can't just sit alone and complain about it in our little corner. Like, keep complaining about it to them. If we all do it collectively, we have a huge voice. All the users of PowerDirector, we got a huge voice. If we all voice our concerns together, right, one by one, right, on our own, it will accumulate and they will act. And they need to act quicker when there's problems and issues. I don't get any preferential treatment when it comes to like problems that I'm having. I can reach out to people that I know at CyberLink. I still gotta wait, and they're still gonna tell me, "Hey, have you tried this? We'll get you in contact with support. You do a ticket on support, blah blah blah." I still gotta wait. I'm not like a special like ambassador that gets different treatment than somebody else. That doesn't happen. So yes, I want them to be more responsible. I want them to be more accountable as well. But subscription drives that accountability. Subscription drives that responsibility, right? They have less of it when they just, if you use an old version, and they have less accountability for you. They're like, well, we don't support that version anymore. That their accountability is gone. Zero, zilch. They're done. Let's see. iExpert GTA says, yo, does the live stream also cover PowerDirector on mobile? I have an issue when it comes to audio delay. Any video I try to work on, it kind of has a half a second audio delay. Now, I don't cover the mobile version anymore. I do have that old channel that still has some mobile videos on it. You can check that out, see if there's anything that solves the issue, but I don't use the mobile version anymore. Brian Lightfoot says he creates PNG transparent titles for Zoom backgrounds, usually the humorous type. Seth and Me Street said F credits. Just wanted to bring that out there because I like it. KK Bronson says, does one credit equal $1? I never bought credits before. I don't know what the calculation is for credits. So I really can't answer that. I guess somebody on here might have answered that already. Maybe somebody else knows. Peter told him. Ooh, Peter, I'm surprised you didn't just go ahead and shut him down, baby. Shut him down. But I appreciate the moderation up in here. I love it. Maybe I shouldn't have showed it on the screen. Second thoughts. Now I'm having second guesses about the things I do. I need to learn from Peter. Peter's the one holding everything. Look, Peter knows. I don't. All right, we got an answer here from Steve. He says, no way. It's far less than that. Vico Ka says exactly what we needed. More titles. Hey. It's what they give you, baby. It's what they give you. Diane Uranowski says, to all posts having no problem, no with cost. I complained regarding auto renewal up $50. Their customer service said, open a new account with the new email for discount. Why not just give me the discount to loyal customers? Hey, I can't answer that. I would question that myself. Like, I always say that. Like, it's the same thing with like phone carriers. I'm like, they give new customers free phones, but I've been a customer with my carrier forever, and I got to pay for a phone or pay monthly for a new phone if I want one. You know, so I agree. I mean, loyalty for existing customers is something that we should all have, man, or all companies should have. But got a whole lot of other comments on here, man. Mo's Game Table. I'm surprised that I finally get to see you again. You came in a little late, but I appreciate you joining, my man. Let's see here. Neil answered my question. He said, Malik, it would be good to have some updates to PD20. They don't have to be much, but a few here and there. Yeah, I figured that would be the case. I mean, like anybody, like for me, like I said, I have DaVinci Resolve and they update it all the time. It's all good, man. So, hey, it is what it is on that front. But I want to say thank you guys for joining me for another live stream. It's been incredible. It's been wonderful. And hey, I appreciate all of you guys for showing the love to me, coming through, hanging out with me, kind of discussing why people are mad at Cyberlink for the things that they're doing with PowerDirector and why I'm freaking excited about the whole shebang bang. But I will see you guys again next week. It has been such a good time hanging out with you. If you have the capability to do so, please click that like button before you get out of here. Also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to PowerDirector University. And if you have the capability to do so, I would love it if you can give me a super chat or a super sticker because it helps support the channel. All right, peace.